Welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe the channel and then tap bell icon. Fatima had always felt a deep connection to her faith. Living in the ancient city of Fez, she was surrounded by spiritual heritage, mosques echoing the Adhan, the scent of oud in the narrow alleys, and the wise words of scholars passed down for generations. But her connection to Allah was something beyond rituals. It was personal, deep, living. Every night, she would leave her home quietly, her abaya flowing gently in the breeze, and make her way past the city walls into the open desert. It was during these late hours that she found peace, away from the noise of the world, beneath the vast canopy of stars. She believed that the stillness of the desert brought her closer to Allah, and she would often perform Tahajjud prayers on the warm sand, whispering heartfelt du'as into the silent night. One particular night, the moon hung low and orange over the horizon, casting a glow that made the dunes shimmer. As she finished her final rak'ah, Fatima remained in sujud longer than usual, tears staining the fabric beneath her. Her voice cracked in the silence as she pleaded, "Ya Allah, guide me, protect me, grant me closeness to you." Just as she raised her hands in supplication, a faint tremor coursed through the sand. Her eyes opened slowly. At first, she thought it was the wind, perhaps a desert fox darting past. But then a swirling breeze began to gather in front of her, forming a small whirl of sand and light. It wasn't violent, more like a soft pull, drawing energy into a single point. Suddenly, it appeared. A figure emerged from the center of the whirl, tall, luminous, neither fully solid nor entirely ethereal. He wore garments unfamiliar to her eyes, his features noble yet unearthly. His eyes, glowing amber, met hers with calm intensity. Fatima didn't scream. Instead, she clutched her prayer beads tightly and recited, "A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajim." The figure raised a hand, palm open in peace. "Do not fear," he said gently. "I am not a shaitan. I am Rami, of the kids Jinn." Your prayers pierced the veil between worlds. Fatima stood, heart pounding. "If you come in peace, I greet you. But if you mean harm, I take refuge in Allah." A small smile flickered on his lips. "You are stronger than many I've seen. I mean you no harm, Fatima." And so began a story that would transcend the boundary between the seen and the unseen. After that first night, Rami began appearing more often, but only when Fatima was alone in the desert during her late-night prayers. He never interrupted her worship. He never approached without her permission. When she finished her salah and made dua, he would appear like a ripple in the air, waiting patiently just beyond her reach. At first, Fatima was cautious. She knew the teachings of Islam warned of the jinn. Some were righteous, but others were mischievous, dangerous, even evil. Yet there was something different about Rami. He didn't try to impress her or tempt her. Instead, he asked questions, curious about her faith, about the Quran, about the mercy of Allah. And Fatima, in her calm and kind way, answered them all. Over time, they spoke about the world. Rami shared stories from the unseen, tales of ancient prophets, lost civilizations buried beneath the sand, and the unseen creatures that roamed among mankind unnoticed. Fatima, in turn, taught him about the Prophet Muhammad, about patience, charity, and the love for the Creator above all else. Despite the unnatural nature of their meetings, the bond between them grew. It was not romantic in the beginning, but spiritual. He admired her strength, her unwavering devotion. She respected his restraint, his yearning for truth. But feelings, no matter how guarded, began to bloom like a desert rose. One evening, as a cool wind blew across the dunes, Fatima sat in silence, her eyes fixed on the stars. "Why do you keep returning, Rami?" she asked. He hesitated. "Because your light calls to me. Not the kind humans speak of, but something in your heart. I do not wish to be lost anymore." Her breath caught slightly. "You know we are from different worlds. There is no future in this." "I know," he said quietly. "But I would rather stand in your shadow and learn righteousness than reign in darkness." Fatima's aunt, wise and perceptive, noticed the change in her niece. One afternoon, while serving tea, she spoke gently. "Child, the jinn can love, but their love is not like ours. It can consume. It can bind. Be careful, Fatima. Even fire, when tamed, still burns." Fatima knew the path before her was dangerous. And yet, every time she stepped into the desert, she felt a presence waiting. not to possess, not to control, but simply to listen, to learn, and perhaps, to love. The night was silent, with the stars stretched across the heavens like pearls on dark velvet. Fatima had just completed her Tahajjud prayer, her hands still raised in dua, when the air shifted gently, the familiar sign of Rami's arrival. His presence no longer startled her, but tonight, something felt different. He stood farther back than usual, his expression unreadable. "Fatima," he said after a long pause, "I have come with an offering." She turned to him slowly, her gaze calm but alert. "What kind of offering?" He stepped forward, the sand undisturbed beneath his feet. "A gift. You have shown me truth, patience, and faith unlike any I have known. I am indebted to you. I offer you one wish, anything your heart desires, and I will make it so." Fatima remained silent, watching him closely. "You may wish for wealth," he continued, his voice soft as the desert wind. "For your family to prosper, for your future to be free of hardship. Or perhaps, you wish to never feel heartbreak, or never grow old, or to be surrounded by love and admiration forever." Still, she said nothing. Her eyes moved to the horizon, where the first blush of dawn hinted at the coming day. "I have seen mortals cry themselves to sleep," he whispered. "You are different, Fatima, but even you carry sadness. Let me take it away. Let me ease your burdens." Finally, she spoke. "And if I accept, what would it make me? A servant to ease, a worshipper of comfort?" "No," Rami said quickly. "You would still be you. Only happier." Fatima smiled faintly. The prophet buried his own children, yet he never strayed from Allah. He was slandered, beaten, starved, and still, he never asked for the ease you offer me now. "But you are not a prophet." "No," she agreed, "but I follow one. And I do not seek to change the path Allah has written for me. It is not sorrow that weakens faith, it is fleeing from it." Rami lowered his head, as if ashamed. "You are the strongest soul I've ever encountered, Fatima." She walked past him, heading back toward the city. "Then pray to the one who made me strong." As she disappeared into the early light, Rami remained behind, silent, conflicted, and humbled. In that moment, the Jinn who once lived only for himself began to desire something else. Submission, not to her, but to the truth she carried. Years passed, and the story of Fatima, the beautiful, wise, and deeply faithful woman of Fez, became part of quiet local legend. She never spoke to anyone of Rami again. Their final meeting had marked a turning point in her soul, a closing chapter to something mysterious, sacred, and forbidden. Fatima continued her life with grace. She married a righteous man, a scholar who respected her strength and piety. Together, they raised 3 children, each brought up with firm iman, faith, love for the Quran, and service to others. But even in the busyness of motherhood and community work, she never stopped walking into the desert for Tahajjud. Her prayer mat, worn by years of tears and whispered supplications, remained her most precious possession. And though Rami never returned in form, signs of him never truly left. Anonymous donations began flowing into the orphanage she helped establish. Her olive grove flourished unnaturally well, producing more than any others in the region. During seasons of drought, her garden bloomed. During storms, her home stood untouched. Whispers spread. Some said she had been touched by something not of this world. Others believed it was simply the barakah, blessing, of a woman who loved Allah above all else. Fatima, now older, with silver hair beneath her hijab, would only smile when asked about the miracles around her. "If Allah wills, nothing is impossible," she would say, never claiming more than what was proper. One night, in her old age, Fatima had a dream. She stood on the edge of a vast, serene desert, and across from her stood Rami, not as a jinn of flickering flame and shadow, but clothed in peace. His eyes were gentle, a soft light glowed behind him. "I no longer wander," he said. "I found the path you prayed I would find. I am free." Fatima smiled, her voice filled with peace. "Then your journey was not in vain." When she passed away, it was in sujud, her forehead pressed to the earth, just as it had been for decades. The moment she died, a powerful wind swept through Fez, not destructive, but strange and stirring, like a farewell kiss from the unseen. Her grave never wilted. Jasmine always bloomed around it, even in winter. And though no one saw who placed them, the townspeople knew. Some loves are not of this world. Some stories never end. They live quietly in the spaces between seen and unseen, whispered forever in the winds of the desert.